A seismic shift is shaking the foundation of India's government employee retirement landscape. And this time, the rules are rewriting themselves. Imagine a system where your pension isn't just a number in a ledger, but a living, breathing promise to protect you through inflation, disability, or even early retirement. That's the promise of the Unified Pension Scheme, UPS, and the government has just dropped its most comprehensive rulebook yet. But here's where it gets controversial. The new framework could either be a game changer for employee welfare or a Trojan horse for financial uncertainty. Let's unpack the details and ask if you're ready to rethink retirement. The Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions has officially published the Central Civil Services Implementation of the Unified Pension Scheme under the National Pension System, Rules 2025. These aren't just bureaucratic formalities. They're a blueprint for how 20 million plus central government employees will navigate their pensions in the coming decade. From enrollment procedures to the nitty-gritty of switching between pension models, the rules cover a staggering 11 key areas. Here's what's on the table. 1. Enrollment simplified. Employees can now opt into UPS with a streamlined digital process. No more paperwork nightmares. But what if the system crashes on day one? A question worth asking. 2. Switching options. The government is letting workers flip between UPS and the older NPS model, but only within a tight window, 1 year before retirement or 3 months before voluntary retirement. And this is the part most people miss. If you switch late, you might lose out on inflation-linked benefits. 3. Contribution clarity. Both employees and the government will contribute. But the exact percentages and timelines are now spelled out. This could help avoid disputes or create new ones if budgets get tight. 4. Penalties for delays. If the system fails to credit your contributions on time, the government will pay compensation. A welcome safeguard. But will it cover actual losses or just symbolic damages? 5. Death disability provisions. The rules outline how beneficiaries will receive pensions if a government servant dies or becomes disabled. However, the fine print about option for benefits under different regulations raises questions. Will families face red tape during crises? 6. Retirement scenarios. From superannuation to invalidation, every exit path is now mapped. But what happens if you're forced to retire early due to political changes? The rules don't say. 7. Disciplinary triggers. Pending departmental or judicial cases at retirement could void benefits. This clause has sparked debate. Is this a fair check on accountability or a weapon for political retaliation? The most talked about change? Reducing the mandatory service period from 25 to 20 years for qualifying for UPS benefits. Manjit Singh Patel, president of the All India NPS Employees Federation, calls it a historic milestone. But critics argue this might pressure employees to retire early, leaving them financially vulnerable later. What do you think? Is this a welfare boost or a ticking time bomb for retirees? What is UPS really? Think of it as a hybrid pension model. Unlike the traditional NPS, which ties your savings to market performance, UPS promises assured returns, adjusted for inflation. It's designed to act like a savings account with a guaranteed income stream. But it's still under the National Pension System's regulatory umbrella, managed by PFRDA. The scheme officially launched on April 1, 2025, after being approved in August 2024. Yet, the devil's in the details. Will the government's fiscal health sustain these guaranteed payouts for decades? And how will this affect public sector budgets? Here's the bottom line. The 2025 UPS rules are a bold experiment in retirement security. They offer flexibility and safeguards, but also introduce new risks. As a taxpayer, employee, or pensioner, you're now part of this unfolding story. Drop a comment below. Do you support the 20-year service rule, or would you prefer the old 25-year model? Let's debate, because your retirement shouldn't be a gamble.